Hey, thanks for joining me today. It's Tom DeWinter from Archer Capital. Today's video, I'll be talking about common misconceptions regarding credit and what's actually strong credit and what's just a high score, because there is a difference. Coming up next. Hi, just so you know, I probably review about 1,000 credit reports a year, north of 1,000 credit reports a year. I do it for a living. I find that most people have 4 common misconceptions about their credit. So, misconception number 1 is 800 is a strong credit score. But you see, that's not always the case, right? Credit, you can look at it like a pool of water. You can have a very, very small pool that's very, very clean. That's an 800 credit score that is scored that way because a person has a department store credit card for 2 years and maybe one other credit card that they keep perfectly for a $500 limit, 2 credit cards. That will get you an 800 credit score. But the pool of water is the size of a quarter. A bank looks at it and goes, hey, we can't go swimming in this pool of water. It's too shallow, right? Better credit than an 825 with 2 lines of credit is a 705 with, 20, 30 lines of credit, home, cars, multiple credit cards, opened and closed accounts over 2 years. That's much easier to score. 700, 705, 680. I look at the credit report and it's 20 pages long. That's good credit. An 800, an 825 with a 2-page credit report, that's not great credit. That's the starts of good credit, but that's not great credit. And honestly, I've declined a lot of credit scores and declined a lot of applications because a person has an 800 credit score and they've got 2 lines of credit and that's it. That's not enough for a bank to make a decision to loan somebody $40,000 if the most that they've ever used is $300 on a department store credit card. Now, the second most common misconception is that all credit scores are the same. We have a lot of people talk to us and say, hey, you know what? I know I have great credit because when you pull my credit, it'll be a 715. But that's not what we pull. So a lot of people pull that and they go to a free service online and they pull their credit and it's either a blended score or you're given a credit to make you feel good, so you subscribe to their service. Each one of the credit bureaus, there's 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Not only do you have 3 different scores, but each one of those bureaus has 8 to 10 different ways of scoring you depending on who the person pulling credit is. Because I work with commercial financing, I don't pull the same score as an auto dealership was, because they'll pull a different version of Experian that weighs a person's consumer behavior to predict whether they'll pay an auto loan back. And likewise for credit cards. A credit card bank won't pull the same credit report that I pull because they pull one that's weighted to see if you'll pay your credit card bills back, that weigh your revolving credit and your timeliness on paying differently than it would for me. When I pull a commercial credit report and I pull your credit report for commercial use, I'm looking more heavily into installment. How do you handle a regular payment, somebody lending you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, let's say, for a car? Are you regularly making your monthly payments in a predictable, regular way? Because that will very closely follow if I loan you money for your forklift or if I loan you money for your dump truck. right? Third biggest misconception: hard pulls hurt your credit. It kind of doesn't. I mean, it'll affect it a little bit if you go out and get 10, 15 different pulls, but it depends why you're having your credit pulled. If I look at your credit and you've got 8 different pulls at auto dealerships, that has nothing to do with me. If I see that you have 5 or 6 pulls because you're trying to buy a house, that has nothing to do with me. It won't affect how I score your credit or how I see your credit. And a hard pull, it affects your score maybe 1 or 2 points. Now, if you're getting 20 and 30 and 40 hard pulls, yeah, don't do that. But 1 or 2 hard pulls isn't a big deal. Archer Capital, we only pull a soft pull, so it doesn't affect your score anyways. I mean, we can see each other's soft pulls, but it doesn't score as a hard pull, and it's not public notice like a hard pull would be. But either way, it's not nearly as bad as the population thinks that it is. A hard pull is not that big of a deal. The last misconception number 4, is a lot of times people have a debt and they're struggling to pay it, and they'll call up the credit card company and say, hey, I know this is my debt, I'll offer you this amount, $3,000 less, $2,000 less. And the company agrees to it, and you pay it thinking you're done. What you don't realize is by paying less than the total, that credit card company or that auto loan or whatever it is listing you as a charge-off, that they were not able to recover all the money that you owed. That's actually very bad on your credit report, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. I've seen people's credit report ruined because they have a charge-off because they didn't agree to pay and took a $700 charge-off. You know, the problem is that's such a red flag in commercial finance, and I can't speak about consumer financing, cars and houses, I don't know that, but for commercial financing, that's such a red flag when we see charge-offs, and that kills a deal with almost all of my funding sources. All right, so hopefully this helps you. Anyways, that's it. I hope you get something out of this video. If you like my video, you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications of new videos, the like button, and please comment on my video. Anyways, thanks for spending time with me today. I'll see you on the next one.